right, this is David. Welcome back to the channel. As always, man, do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow. As you know, I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. Always do your own research. For those who start in their financial journey, a beginner in the financial space, check out the description box. I've left, a couple of links in there that could possibly help you get started on your financial future, whether it's investing, whether it may be some debt that you want to, having trouble kind of, um, you know, figuring out how you want to approach it. Check that out. I think you will find some very useful information. But hey, today's video, it's after the market closed. NVIDIA has announced their earnings, and you see this is live here. We're after market. You see the time that we're recording this video, and NVIDIA is slightly up after they've reported their earnings. But I just want to go through the headlines here. Let's just see how they did, because this is a much anticipated earnings every single quarter. We're waiting to see what NVIDIA is doing, and we want to see how that affects the stock market, because it in recent earnings quarters, the price of NVIDIA, the earnings report from NVIDIA after the fact has a big impact on the stock market. So I just want to go through here. Let's just see how they did in regards to their earnings here. So we'll just go through here. Quick summary. You see it's down right now. After market, it was up $2 today, 1.4%. Closed the day at 195.56. Currently slightly down after hours. Well, it's live, right? So it's updating as we speak. But let's take a look and just go to little headlines here. This is on Yahoo Finance, and let's just go through the summary here of their earnings here. And you see it, NVIDIA reported a record fiscal fourth quarter with 68.1 billion in revenue, a 73% increase year over year, driven by strong demand for AI chips. The company's guidance for the upcoming quarter suggests further growth, projecting revenue of 78 billion despite export restrictions impacting the China market. The earnings overview. NVIDIA reported a robust fiscal fourth quarter with earnings of $1.62 per share on revenues of 68.1 billion, reflecting significant growth in AI-driven demand. Strategic partnerships. NVIDIA is reportedly close to finalizing a partnership with OpenAI, reinforcing its position in the AI landscape. And then we go to market sentiment. Despite NVIDIA's strong earnings, U.S. stock futures fell. As you see, NVIDIA's after-hour prices is, barely fade. This is actually kind of a surprise, but U.S. stocks futures fell, indicating mixed investor sentiment in the technology sector. So, and then another big headline was the exit from the ARM stake. NVIDIA sold its 1.1 million shares in ARM Holdings for approximately 140 million, but will continue collaboration on AI computing. So that was kind of an overview of the NVIDIA earnings, and honestly, it doesn't look like it's a market mover so far. It hasn't really had an impact on the price. And I'm kind of anxious to see, will that change, tomorrow morning? Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see once the futures open up in the morning. But so far, you see here, not major movement after hours on NVIDIA. So let me know. Were you impressed by the earnings? Did you expect more from the earnings? Do you actually own NVIDIA shares? I own a few shares of NVIDIA. I don't have a lot of shares, but I do own a few shares, up pretty good on what I actually hold. Let me see. I can tell you exactly how much I'm up. Let me just bear with me 1 second here. Let's go to my Fidelity account. Like I said, I don't own a lot of shares, but I know I'm doing pretty good on the shares that I do own. I just want to go in and see what we're looking like in real time here. Because I actually have some shares. My son has a few shares as well. But like I said, not a lot. Not a lot. I do own SMH as well. And I had AMD for a while, but I currently don't have AMD. And we know AMD has been running after his recent deal announcement. But let's see here. My current NVIDIA position, we are up 122.74% on our NVIDIA position. We have a cost basis of $87.79. And like you see, NVIDIA is trading 195.56. So we're up over 122% on our NVIDIA position. Let me go check my son's account because he has some NVIDIA too. He is up 50%, 50.01% on his NVIDIA position. He has a cost basis of $130, $130.36 dollars per share. And like I say, NVIDIA is trading at 195.56. So NVIDIA is a long-term play. Like I said, also on SMH. Let me see where my SMH is here. SMH has been killing it for me. I'm up 109% on my SMH position. Cost basis of 203.66. SMH currently trading at 426.16. So up $7 exactly today. So we was up pretty good on our position. So, but yeah, man, it doesn't seem like the earnings from NVIDIA has had an impact really on the market. I was expecting a lot more, like I said. Let's see, on the last 5 days, according to Yahoo Finance, NVIDIA has been up 4% over the last month, up 4%. Last 6 months, up 8.76%. And year to date, NVIDIA is up 4.86%. So not bad. Over the last year, NVIDIA is up 54%, which I can attest to after, I just mentioned how our positions have been doing. So we've been reaping the benefit of NVIDIA running up, and we'll see. We'll see how the market responds to NVIDIA tomorrow. But so far, we're going to have to say it's kind of a dud, man. Kind of a dud. A lot of people are anticipating this day. I wonder how the option traders are making out and what they was thinking. Were they betting on NVIDIA to go up, or did you have some puts and expecting it to go down? So right now it's kind of flatlining, right? Just I don't want to say dead, but it's basically dead right now. I don't see much movement going on. It seemed like the number. I didn't actually listen to the call, but it seemed like they had a pretty decent earnings. But maybe it's some things that the investors didn't like. Let's go to community. Let's see what some people are saying in the chat. And this is just a chat on Yahoo Finance, man. It can, anybody can have an opinion. So, let's not read too much into that. But let's just go into the chat and see what some people are saying in the community, if I can. Maybe they won't let me in. Oh, here we go. Yes, that's an old November 24. I need to see some new chats. Let's check out the newest chats. All right. One person here says a joke and punchline of the stock market. Another one says overpriced trap. Let's see what this one said. I knew it. Told you so. Mark this post. I tried to tell you. Come on, guys. Something original. Some guy said I knew ER would be great and SP would move. Yeah, you were bumming it on NVIDIA, Yahoo board. Like I said, this is the NVIDIA chat on Yahoo Finance. Everybody has an opinion. So What the NVIDIA PC is. Oh man, all right, I know what that means. Somebody not happy. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Let's take a look at AMD and how AMD has been moving. And AMD is down today, $2.98, down after hours, as you see. Over the last 5 days, AMD is up 5%. Over the last month, AMD is actually down 18% over the last month. But over the last 6 months, up 29%. Year to date, down 1% for AMD. And this is using Yahoo Finance. Sometimes I usually like to use Google Finance, but sometimes their numbers differentiate. But you still get some accurate information here. So, but yeah, man, NVIDIA, man, not really impressed by the movement so far regarding its earnings. Not really living up to the hype, and hasn't really moved too much after hours. As you can see, you can go yourself if you're ever interested in doing that. Like these public traded companies, if you own stock in them, feel free to go listen to our earnings call. You can learn a lot of valuable information about a particular company. So especially if you own stock, it'd be extremely helpful. So, but yeah, man, just wanted to touch a little bit on, see how NVIDIA is doing, checking in. Doesn't seem to be doing too great after the call. Just kind of flatlining, but we'll see how it responds tomorrow and over the next few, trading days to see if there's going to be any type of action with the price. So let me know what you guys think. Do you own NVIDIA right now? What's your expectations of NVIDIA over the next few months? How far do you think it might go up? How far do you think it may go down? So if you're looking to invest in NVIDIA, is it a good price right now, or are you kind of waiting until it may pull back some? So if you're in NVIDIA, or you're in it for the long term, or are you waiting to hit a specific price, and then you possibly want to exit the position. So let me know in the chat what's your game plan with NVIDIA and how you feel about the earnings call today. So I think that's going to be it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you later.